So you mentioned tailoring social media. How do you suggest sports organizations balance acquiring new fans versus alienating hardcore fans through social media?
It's a very tricky thing to do. From a business point of view, you want to be able to market and profile, and you've only got a limited resource, and so people will start doing things like sending blanket emails, and they may not segment the audience enough. But in time, the lessons that you need to learn are about tailoring it down to, if necessary, down to the individual. Having those conversations, being seen to have those conversations is really important. And so, for example, using Twitter as a communication technology is great because by answering and having a conversation with one person, you actually may well be having a conversation effectively with thousands of others who are watching that conversation, and therefore you're hitting that communication all in one go. But profiling is the thing that the internet industry, the advertising industry, all the brands, that's what they're really after, is getting down to the holy grail of a CRM system and a single sign-on that identifies the individual. Doing that with social, if you do it right, takes time and effort, but it can yield immense value. Yeah, I think we need to be careful with the terminology here, because when I've got one company who I work with, and they are forever talking about sending out e-shots. And I can't think of a more negative way of describing it. You might as well call it blanket bombing, And what you want to be doing, of course, is saying we're sending out newsletters that are tailored and profiled and everything else. And so similarly, mining, sure. Understanding, absolutely. Understanding in great detail. Mining has that slightly industrial feel about it. And that's the risk.
What do you think are the biggest challenges that the sports organizations are facing right now in light of the fact that the fans have an increased demand on their time, as well as the fact that their attention spans are decreasing?
Back in .com boom, so 99, 2000, that kind of era, one of the things that particularly our American cousins used to talk about would be passion centers. Music, film, sport. And arguably religion and politics as well, though it was a little difficult to have media properties around those. So if you've got a huge strength, like something that people are passionate about, something that people really care about, then that is the kind of power that will mean that your business can develop and grow and engage an audience in really effective ways. Because if you do it right, you are pushing at an open door. And that's where sport has a huge advantage over lots of others. So this attention economy, which is what you're describing, in the media world there's an attention economy, but I come from a background, BBC or Tiscali or large-scale media publishing organizations, where you're forever trying to put your product in front of somebody, trying to tell them a story. Sometimes they want to know, sometimes they don't want to know. But if you're talking about a football club or a sports team or an athlete that they love, they genuinely love, and they're inspired and motivated by, real base human emotions, then you've got immediately a huge head start on a way in, and you can connect with them and talk with them. And then it's really about, okay, so we've got that core going, and we've got a conversation going. How do we get more people? How do we get a bigger audience? How do we get their friends and their family to be engaged? How does that emotional passion spread? Relatively speaking, that's an easy job compared to trying to sell a product.